psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire.
The idea of working hard is silly. It's silly.
There is all the money that everybody needs and wants waiting there for them.
The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank.
You have to change the way you think.
That's paper. We call it money. The idea that you have to work hard for this stuff is not true. Have you ever asked yourself why we think we have to work hard if we're going to win? It takes hard work, years of hard work. It's not good information. In fact, it's a lie. Stop and think of some of the people you know that have been working real hard for a long time and they're not winning at all. They're broke. They're renting a place to live. They don't own their own home. They're probably driving a used car. And so if they say that dog won't hunt. The idea of working hard is silly. It's silly.
Listen to me. Rich people think different. So what I'm gonna put in your head today is a rich people concept so you can get to understand it. The only difference between successful people and not is just how they think. Rich people think different. Quit letting people tell you you gotta get qualified in another program. You don't need another program to be successful. You need to change the way you think. To be successful, you need to change the way you think.
How would an abundant person think? Write it down, dude, and fire and wire those thoughts in your brain and install the hardware. Keep doing it with attention and intention. It becomes the new voice in your head. It becomes a software program. Then say, okay, how am I going to be in my life today? What would an abundant person, how would they behave? And before you reach for your cell phone and start scrolling through your social media, close your eyes and rehearse in your mind how that person would walk, how they would breathe, how they would smile, how they would greet people, how they would be on Zoom calls, how would they be in traffic, how would they be at dinner. And the act of closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing the act, if you're truly present, the brain does not know the difference between the real life experience and what you're imagining.
Say no to the paycheck. Paycheck make you poor because they make a slave mindset, not a master mindset.
Make up your mind. That's this idea of you got to be realistic, that you got to be logical is a bunch of nonsense. You don't have to be logical at all.
When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances. Because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life.
Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big and they think of ways of getting there, not of ways of not getting there.
There is all the money that everybody needs and wants waiting there for them. And there's only one reason it's not in their lives, and that's because they're stopping it from coming into their lives.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How are we stopping it?
By thinking we don't have enough, by thinking we don't deserve it, by maybe being programmed the way you were, that my family didn't have very much, you know, I'm destined to not have very much, kind of born on the wrong side of the tracks kind of thing, or all of those thoughts, to believe that we only get money through our job. If you believe that that's the only way you're going to get money, that's the only way that you're going to get money. But you can get money from unbelievable, unlimited different ways.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you gotta do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Ain't nobody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, Mama, you must be right. No, Mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry. He showed it to you.
Know what you want and believe that you can and will get it. Give expressions of gratitude many times daily for having received that which you want, even before you actually get physical possession of it. Possession starts first in the mind. Please remember this. Remember, There can be no application of applied faith without action. When overtaken by defeat, as you may be many times, remember that man's faith is tested many times before he is crowned with final victory. And accept your defeat as nothing more than a challenge to keep on trying.
But I'm starting to realize, bro, when you dance to your own rhythm, when you play by your own rules, and you living through your vision, that's a perfect indication you're doing it correctly. Because they literally don't see what you see. They don't see it. They don't see what you see. They don't see as far as you see. And they don't understand why you see what you see. They don't even understand where it's coming from internally. They don't. I didn't get that back then. I just knew I had the desire for more. I knew I had a vision that I couldn't ignore.
There is no end to what you're capable of doing. Once you get into this vibration, you'll start attracting things. Opportunity is just going to pop up everywhere you go.
Thoughts are things, and incredibly powerful things, and a man's life is what his thoughts make of it.
What would be the outcome? The experiment of being abundant would be that you would have to feel that feeling. Get so good at doing it with your eyes closed. You got to do it with your eyes open. Now, why? Because if you're feeling the feelings of your emotions, of your future, you're no longer looking for them.
You can do whatever you make up your mind to do. Believe, and you shall receive. Will you please remember that your life is exactly what you make it by your own mental attitude.
Money is currency and currency is energy. Like, I had to hear it like 6,000 times before I really got that money is energy. It's a frequency. So when you raise your frequency and get into alignment with it, and that whole alignment thing is all about none of the limiting beliefs, just being in surrender. First it was, I can't afford it. And then I eventually went to money flows to me easily and freely. And this is still while I was living in the garage, still while I was, so in debt. But I had started doing all the energy work around it. And I was like, all right, what are my blocks? Like, what just kept coming up in it that I was stuck and that it was hard and that I didn't know what I was doing. So flowing easily and freely was just like, even though I did not believe it at first, like it wasn't about believing it. It was about the feeling, because we are emotional creatures. The easily and freely flowing was really, really powerful.
If you are one of those people who believe that hard work and honesty alone will bring riches, perish the thought, because it is not true. Riches, when they come in huge quantities, are never the result of hard work. Riches come, if they come at all, in response to definite demands based upon the application of definite principles and not by chance or luck. Listen to this. You do not have to be the smartest cat in town to earn a lot of money. As a matter of fact, you can be pretty dumb and earn a lot of money. I was pretty dumb and I was earning a lot of money. So when people tell me you got to be smart to earn a lot of money, I know that's not true, because I knew I wasn't very smart and I was earning a lot of money.
If you complain about money, if you judge people who have it, if you rush when you're in lack, if you cheat when you don't have what you need, an abundant person doesn't do that. You got to look at that and say, I got to break these habits. Yes. Oh my God, if I truly want to be abundant, I can't act this way. Now here's the big one. If I truly want to be a new personality that's in a new personal reality, I can't take lack with me. I can't take unworthiness. I can't take a story that goes along with it with my parents or my grandparents or my ex or whatever. That story has to end.
When people look at the money that they're making and then the amount of effort that it takes them to make that money, they're like, you know what, at least I worked hard for my money. Bro, money gets printed out of thin air. You need to figure out how to make as much of it for the least amount of effort as possible. Why? Because there's dudes out there that are printing it. I don't think you understand. They're literally printing it. Printing it, and you're out here working for it, slaving away. So you need to ask yourself, how can I get as much money as possible for the least amount of effort? So you need to start a business. You need to be able to understand how to arbitrage. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to market. These basic skills, because the assumption that you're going to find security in a job is a fallacy. They can fire you for any of a million reasons tomorrow. Your skills are what's going to determine if you stay afloat or not, if you have the ability to make money. The job doesn't count. The idea of having a side hustle that you're not actually fully invested doesn't count. You need to be focused on making money. Money is the name of the game. You have to take care of it.
See this? This is energy too. If you get on the frequency this is on, you can't stop it coming. What did he say in here? He said, when the money starts coming, it'll come so fast and furious, you're going to wonder where it was hiding through all the lean years. Most people don't understand that. They do not understand. They think you've got to go to work. You just got to work a little harder. Get out there, put in more hours. Wrong track.
Now let me give you a description of the one thing which represents the main difference between a successful person and a failure. Please listen carefully and think for yourself as I speak, because failure to recognize the truth I am about to give you is the starting point of most failures. Successful people in all occupations, all professions, and all callings have one trait which distinguishes them from the failures. It is their capacity for belief. The failures see the hole in the donut, but do not see the donut around the hole. The successes see the hole also, but they see the donut around the hole.
Changing your psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. We're going to go back to childhood and we're going to go to the future. What conversations do you remember your family having when you were young about money? What phrases? Here's some examples that might sound familiar. We can't afford it. Here's the consequence of that. This person, hopefully, they end up in a pretty nice job. Maybe they've done well. They have some decent amount of money. They come to me and go, why do I still feel guilty ordering a salad when I eat out? And my partner is saying, we have the money. Look at our checking account. Why? Well, trace it all the way back to conversations you had starting at age 6.
Wow.
It's not about wealth. It's who you become.
Isn't it a strange fact that most people make a negative application of their great power of faith by thinking about and believing in poverty, ill health, fear, failure, and defeat, when it would be so easy for them just to change their thinking over to the circumstances and things they desire?
Income is governed by law. Yet it's a law that you're never going to change. The law of compensation is very clear. This law clearly states that the amount of money you earn is always going to be in an exact ratio to three things: the need for what you do, your ability to do it, the difficulty there will be in replacing you.
You need to understand that money is just energy, and that's how you're going to attract more abundance into your life. Let me explain. The moment I took money off of a pedestal, did it stop becoming the master of my life, and I became the master of my money, because money is an excellent tool, it's an excellent servant, but it's a horrible master. You need to understand that money is actually not real. Money is simply energy. Money simply is a vibration that you need to tap into. Money exists all around us all the time. It's up to you to tune into the frequency of where abundance actually is, because abundance isn't really a number. Abundance is actually a state of being. When you become in a state of being of abundance, you tune into the frequency of money. Money will only gravitate towards those who don't feel a lot of restriction, fear, and lack and scarcity around it. I meet very rich people all the time. However, they're still in a state of scarcity and lack. They won't even pay for a dinner. They feel like they have to hoard all their money, and that is complete fear, scarcity, and lack.
Believing, believing, believing. You will be living what you're believing, even though you be lying.
Take a look at your income. Take a look at your income right now. If you're in sales, take a look at your sales. I don't care what you're doing. Take a look at the results. That's telling you the frequency that you're living on. We can adjust the frequency. You can, I can. Listen. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and that's what we're talking about. It's all done by law.
If you can think and grow rich, that automatically means you can think and grow broke. To think and grow broke, it only requires neglect. So let's not neglect being intentional about our thoughts, because if we do, we might end up being one of those people who think and grow broke.
If you aim for success above mediocrity, you will need to learn to act on your own personal initiative, because your success is something which you must achieve for yourself without someone telling you what to do or how to do it. There are two kinds of men who never amount to much: those who cannot do as they are told, and those who can do nothing else.
Most people learn how to fail and not to succeed. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. When they developed Tesla, everybody thought, not a new idea. But they were persistent, they were convincing, and they could see something that most people did not see. The same thing with Google, the same thing with Apple. They were providing something that people were looking for, but they did not know how to put it together. So if you want to be a billionaire, you have to start thinking what will work and not only what will fail. Billionaires look at their experience and say, this did not work, what can I learn from it? You have to change the way you think. Think about it.
Money is high-frequency energy. It flows to high-frequency individuals. At first glance, money seems tangible. Paper bills, coins, or even gold bars, but that perception is an illusion. Money is at its core an intangible, ever-flowing stream of energy. Money is inherently high-frequency energy, and just as water always flows to lower ground, money always flows toward individuals who radiate high-frequency energy. As human beings, we're constantly emitting a certain vibrational frequency through our thoughts, emotions, and actions. When we live in a state of scarcity, anxiety, or fear, we emit low-frequency vibrations. In such a state, even if we manage to earn some money, it's likely to be small amounts or hard-earned money, and it may just as easily slip away. On the other hand, when we live in abundance, positivity, and focus, when we regularly experience flow states, we become a magnet for wealth.
There's been many periods in my life that I've had internal growth, which was this: work, no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, no results, I'm a little bit better. Work, boom, just got paid. I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing and then the bubble popped. And then boom, it looks like you were doing it all wrong.
You want to make money, the key to making money is serving the most amount of people. The more people you serve, the more money you make. People always say, athletes make so much money. Doctors should make more money than athletes. But I'm like, wait, how many patients you got? How many patients you got? The doctor got 30 patients. Well, you got 30 patient money. But how many people are enjoying watching LeBron play? Hundreds of millions. So he gets hundreds of millions of dollars. I said, dude, don't ever get it twisted. You serve more people, you get more props, you get more money.
Another way to get wealth is through servanthood. Listen very carefully. The more people you serve, the richer you become. The more people that you can serve and the more needs you can meet, the more successful you become.
If you're going to put your effort into something and you're going to work on something, you cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. I'm going to write a book. I can't afford to think that it won't sell. I'm going to build a business. I can't afford to think that I'm not going to get any clients.
Do not accept from life or anyone else anything you do not desire. And remember that Mahatma Gandhi proved himself to be more powerful than the great British military forces by this simple method of passive resistance. Keep your mind eternally engaged in thinking of that which you desire most, your major purpose in life, so no time will be left for you to waste on thinking of that which you do not want.
The more I listen to this, the better my life gets. If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Write out this sentence and paste it in a prominent place where you work and on a mirror where you see yourself in your home. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Remember also that you are the only person who can provide you with a positive mental attitude. What are you going to do about it? On your answer to this question rests your entire future.
That's paper. We call it money. Money is an idea. Money goes where it's invited and it stays where it's welcome. The idea that you have to work hard for this stuff is not true. Some of the people that work the hardest are the ones that are in the least. Now think about it. The idea that you have to work hard is silly. When you love what you're doing, you'll never work again. What do you love doing? Quit working and start doing what you love, and you'll never work again. Now you think about that for a while.
In order for us to change a belief or perception about ourselves and our lives, we have to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. And your body literally has to respond to your mind. Examine your personality and examine your personal reality. Change your personality, change your personal reality. Don't make it be about abundance. Make it about becoming abundant by overcoming the person who's not abundant.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Definiteness of purpose. By now you should know what you want most from life, and you should have a plan for getting it. Going the extra mile. This is a must if your major purpose is anything above mediocrity.
Wake up every day. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your dream? It's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember it, right? So if you're going to remember it, you got to keep it alive in your mind. How do you keep it alive in your mind? You disconnect from your environment. You close your eyes. You play music in the background. Don't be thinking about what's going to happen in your day. You already know what's going to happen. Don't think what happened yesterday. You already know that. Get in the present moment and say, who do I want to be when I open my eyes? Who do I want to be today? What would greatness look like? How would one day, one shot, one lifetime, what would an abundant person do?
Don't let losers and brokies sit and say to you, oh, all our graves are the same, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You were not born to suffer and die without being remembered or leaving a mark on this planet. You weren't born for that. You were born to do something great and to be remembered. You were born to leave offspring, which are so fantastic, raised in your image, that you, by proxy, are discussed into eternity. Your bloodline becomes synonymous with competence and capability. That's why you were born.
The universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So then people who show up for themselves every day, they start feeling pretty damn worthy. Like, they're like, I'm worthy for this. Not like an entitlement way, like something, but they just like, I feel like it's going to happen. I'm worthy for it.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it. All things are possible if you believe.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
The person who's living in lack is waiting for their wealth to feel abundant. They're waiting for their success to feel empowered. Mm-hmm. They're waiting for their healing to feel gratitude. They're waiting for their new relationship to feel love. They're waiting for their mystical experience to feel awe. That's the Newtonian model of reality, of cause and effect. Waiting for that event to happen to take away this separation or lack. Nothing wrong with it. It's the way most people create. But what we've discovered is actually something else. The moment you feel gratitude, your healing begins. The moment you feel worthy and abundant, you're generating wealth. The moment you're empowered, you are moving towards your success. The moment you're in love with yourself and you're in love with life, you'll create an equal. The moment you are in awe of life, you're going to have a mystical experience. And so that's causing an effect.
If you want it, don't just think you want it, go out and f***ing want it. But you're not looking like you want it. You look like you're feeling sorry for yourself. And nobody wants anybody that's feeling sorry for themselves.
Isn't it strange that so often people have to be cut down by failure and defeat before they learn that they have minds capable of mastering all of their problems? Just remember this about adversities. Nothing is ever so bad or so unpleasant that it may not yield some benefit if we keep a positive mental attitude toward the experience and make it a habit to look for that seed of an equivalent benefit.
What is money? Define it. What is money? You go in, you give your time, your energy, your attention towards a task, and you get paid. What is those 15 pounds that you're getting for that hour worth?
Your time?
No, not your time. What is it worth? Where does it come from? Who gives that thing value? It has no value. That money isn't real. So what you need to do is you need to create money, and you create money by elevating the way that you think about finances, the way that you think about business, the way that you think about working. You don't work in order to get a paycheck. You work in order to build things that create money.
Your body is so objective that it's believing it's living in that reality where you are abundant. And as long as you feel that emotion, you're not separate from it any longer. You're no longer in lack. You're no longer looking for it to occur. Say, why hasn't it happened yet? If you're feeling abundant, why would you look? The longer you're conscious of that energy, the more you draw that future to you. Nothing changes in your life until you change.
Every family deserves to have a winner. I think it should be you. But you also have to disconnect, unplug your umbilical cord from the belly button of average and plug yourself into the mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
The reason you want it so damn bad is because you know you can get it. You know you're capable. You know if you do everything right or everything that you're supposed to do, that you can achieve it. And when you know you can do it, you get pissed off when you don't have it already. And see, the problem is so many people don't think that they can do it. That's when you lose your drive. People want to talk about where's that fire. That fire is by starting it. You gotta ignite it, and that's gonna light that fire. Now you know how big this fire can get. You know how dangerous you could be. You just gotta stoke the fire every day. You gotta keep adding to it. Every time you add to it, it gets a little bigger. It gets a little more possible. It doesn't seem so crazy anymore. And after you add it enough, you see what's capable. Until one day that fire's there and it's raging, all because of a spark.
Nothing ever just happens by luck, but every effect has its definite cause, albeit we often observe effects, the causes of which we cannot isolate or understand.
Now there's three types of people in this world. Those who watch things happen, those who wonder what happened, and those who get up and make it happen. And it's easy for you to figure out what type of person you are. Do you wait to start doing it until you feel like doing it? Or do you get up and get after it until you feel like doing it? Come on now. It starts with the dream killer button. Don't hit it. What you doing? You gonna snooze yourself or choose yourself? Don't confuse yourself and lose yourself. How you gonna start your day with a nap? You ain't even done nothing yet. You had plans of waking up last night when you set that alarm. What happened since then? Your dreams got smaller, so you stay in your bed. Your life is less important and the excuses in your head. You stay in your bed, your dreams stay in your head. Choosing your feelings instead of what you said last night when that alarm was set.
The reason you don't have more money in your life is because you settle for mediocrity. Because money is a frequency. It's an energy. It's a vibration. So when you readily accept lower quality food, what you're saying to the universe is, universe, I happily accept the lowest quality for the most important thing of my life, my body. Please, universe, don't send me more money because I am happy with less than what is ultimately available to me. You see how you're creating more of what you don't want? You're not living in your authentic self. Poor in spirit people say the words, I can't afford that. Authentic self people say the words, how could I afford that? That's the shift.
I shall introduce you to your greatest asset, and with this introduction, the master key to success will be within your easy reach. I say this is your greatest asset with which you may tap and draw upon the supreme power which created you and runs this entire universe. The name of this principle is applied faith. I should know what I'm talking about because I was handicapped at birth by the 4 horsemen which keep most people in bondage all the days of their lives: poverty, fear, illiteracy, and superstition.
You gotta want it bad. You gotta want it so bad that it hurts, that you don't have it yet. That throughout your whole life, every day, day in and day out, you've been putting in work and you're not there yet. That should be painful. You should be punching yourself for this. I thought you wanted this shit. You tell everybody you want this shit. You wake up and you tell yourself you're gonna get it. And then you fail to live up to your own expectations every single goddamn day. You gotta want it with your heart. You gotta wake up and you gotta want it. You gotta want it as bad as you wanna breathe, as you wanna eat, as you wanna go to bed, and you can't sleep because you're tossing and turning thinking about what you gotta do tomorrow, and your goals are so far away, and you're walking and you need to sprint to even catch up, to even get close. You gotta want it so bad that nothing else matters. Anything that's not working towards that is a waste of your time. That's how bad you gotta want it. So stop wasting every single day. You gotta get up and get the fuck after it. Let's go.
You want to start making money? Start to realize that money is just energy. It's just a frequency. And guess what you are? You are just energy. You're a frequency. And when you start to understand that money is energy and you are energy, therefore money is you. It literally is you. And you are money. And there is nothing stopping you from money, because money is just the byproduct of the offering and the value that you bring to humanity. The more value that you bring to humanity, the more that you help people with whatever it is that you want to help people with. Maybe it's a smile on their face by bringing them a plate of food. Maybe it's by creating microphones so that people can do podcasts. Maybe it's by making wood chairs. Maybe it's by making clothes or makeup. Whatever you want to do, you have a gift. And your focus and purpose is to find that gift and to monetize that gift. And you can monetize that gift as big or as little as you want. No one's stopping you because it's all you.
You want that? Not a problem, but let's learn the formula of how to create, right?
Yes.
So then you'd have to feel those emotions before the experience occurred. And if you understood that you could dissociate all of your attention from this three-dimensional reality and have no attention on anything known, and understand that it's the field that creates matter, not matter that emits the field, and if you could get to that place and change your energy with a clear intention and elevated emotion, your heart starts beating in this beautiful rhythm like a drum. We've measured it so many times, and when that occurs, the next thing that happens, the heart informs the brain, it's safe to create now.
Everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But, he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of 2 sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. And the other is labeled, the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it. Your only limitations are those which you set up in your own mind or permit others to set up for you.
I can't. You can't? Are you kidding me? You just said I can't? Like, I want to fucking slap that mother. You know what I'm saying? I can't?
Applied faith is the mental attitude wherein you may clear your mind of all fears and doubts and direct it to the attainment of whatever you desire in life.
The next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not.
Write down what you're trying to get done. Write down what you need to get done on a long-term basis and what you need to get done on a short-term basis. And write off a checklist. Force yourself. Be accountable.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week.
It is an inevitable law of nature that you lose that which you do not use. And of course, this applies to the use of your own mind, the same as to everything else. There are no more opportunities to become rich, did I hear you say? Remember, you are given as your richest birthright the privilege of controlling your own thoughts. Therefore, treat this divine gift with the profound respect to which it is entitled, and do not allow anyone to do your thinking for you, or to influence your thinking in any manner whatsoever, except by the rules of accurate thinking I am passing on to you. Follow this procedure regardless of what people think or say about your method of thinking. If they wish to call you a cynic or a doubting Thomas, let that be their misfortune. But for your own good, go right on thinking by rules which will save you from many mistakes and tragedies throughout your life.
Your income is a reflection of your own paradigm. And if you want to change your income, you got to change the paradigm. Now, you may not believe that, but it's still true.
A power which is greater than poverty, greater than the lack of education, greater than all of your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. When doubt creeps into your mind, remember that whatsoever a man believeth, that shall he also reap. Remember that your mental attitude is something you control outright, and you must use self-discipline until you create a thought pattern or thought habits which keep your mental attitude positive at all times. Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you everything, every circumstance which makes you what you are and where you are.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month, pero only one thing is true. I will be champion one day, I promise. I promise.
One thing is certain. No one ever becomes very wise without the aid of self-discipline. And no one ever finds peace of mind and happiness without the strict exercise of self-discipline.
Believe me, the more you put into anything, the more you're going to get out. The more you put in, the more you get out. So stop making excuses. Get out there and do whatever the it takes to reach your goals. Jesus Christ.
Pretty soon you win. Pretty soon you'll win. If you have the courage and the heart and the dedication and the mindset about everybody can go themselves, you put so much practice into you, you know exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. There is no get out of jail free card. This is why I say stay hard. Because when you weren't given the gifts, the only thing you can do in life is stay hard. When you put that practice in, every day you lace them up. And I mean run. It's just a metaphor for life.
Remember, faith is not something you get. Faith is something you already have. But you may be using it in reverse gear by believing in the circumstances and things you do not want, the things you fear. Faith is guidance only. It is not a power which will bring you what you want, but a power that can guide you to go after what you want and get it.
Nobody's coming to save you, big dog. Don't you get that? Your whole life has led to this point because of you. Your shitty decisions, your up habits, your poor choices have caused you to end up at this point. So the only person, big dog, that's going to get you out of this spot is you.
You need to get scared. You need to get freaked out. If you're not where you want to be right now, you need to get scared. All these people that are telling you it's not your fault, you have time, yada, yada, yada. No, you don't. Because those are the exact people that don't make it. It should freak you out that your parents aren't taken care of. It should freak you out that you don't have the life you want to have. It should freak you out that if something happened, something went wrong, you could do nothing about it because you're living paycheck to paycheck. That should freak you out.
Bro, this is not that hard. It's just hard to do. There is no secret. There is no quick fix. There is no hack. There is no path of least resistance. The quickest way for you to go from where the you are to where you want to be is that shit you're trying to avoid doing. And not only is it the fastest way, it's the only way in most cases to get where you're trying to go. I must work hard. I must have failures so I develop skills. And I must not quit so I can continue to push forward as other people fall off the game.
I'm playing to win. And to win, I will destroy you. I will do everything to win. And I need to win. Because when I win is my proof that I am alive. My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference.